left, but let's start over here on Fox News with Jesse Waters. Let's see what they got to say.
Miller is angry.
You invaded the country. Went into the country and we seized the leader of Venezuela.
Damn straight we did.
And I'm saying,
we're not going to let.
So is the U.S. going to have new elections?
Jake, is that we're not going to let Tim Pot communist dictators send rapists into our country, send drugs into our country, send weapons into our country.
The left is uncomfortable exercising American power. It's as simple as that.
Let's be honest, though. Up front, let's be real. We didn't strike Venezuela because of oil. I'm be honest with you, because of drugs. One of the main reasons we got involved with Venezuela is because they were heavily influenced by Russia, China, Iran. They were mainly working with them. And then, of course, working with cartels like a cherry on top. Then, of course, oil and natural resources. So honestly, out of all three of those, the oil was at the bottom of the list. The main thing is the foreign influence going on in our hemisphere.
They're ashamed we're a superpower. So when we throw our weight around, they feel bad about it, even though we're helping them. They're now arguing that Venezuela has the right to send us drugs, gangs, steal our oil, sell it to China. But if we do something about them, we're the bad guys. A communist-backed dictator who's been accused of crimes against humanity, we arrest him, and the Democrats say, we're breaking the law. Well, what's the point of being a superpower if we can't exercise any power in our own neighborhood? How about a little gratitude?
At some point they should say, you did a great job. Thank you. Congratulations. Wouldn't it be good? I would say that if they did a good job. Their philosophies are so different, but if they did a good job, I'd be happy for the country. They've been after this guy for years and years and years. And, he's a violent guy. He gets up there and he tries to imitate my dance a little bit. But he's a violent guy, and he's killed millions of people.
Trump's taken out al-Baghdadi, Soleimani, the Iranian nuke program, and now dictator Maduro. And every single time, look it up, the left's against it. They say Trump is putting us in danger. Every time. That's what they say. How? By taking out bad guys? Soon they're going to be calling Maduro a Venezuelan dad.
Here's the problem. The Dems, honestly, I'm not even sure if they really know how to feel about this, because under Biden, under Trump's first term, they was criticizing him for leaving Maduro alone. Under Biden, everybody was all for claiming that he stole the election. He's a dictator. Everybody on the left was talking about we can't let this man steal the election, but they basically let him do it. Trump came in, took this man into jail, took him out of power, and now the left is complaining and bitching about something that they were literally talking about under Biden and criticizing Trump for in his first term. Really?
Biden had a $25 million bounty on Maduro's head. How'd the Democrats think we were going to go nab him? Maduro's going to turn himself in? Okay, gringos, you got me. I give up. Democrats literally can't.
Oh, and shout out to my man Jay, says, damn, so much, psychotic TDS in the morning. I'm telling you, hey, man, but you got to love the TDS in the morning. These guys, hey, man, they're the best of them. They say the craziest stuff. They do no research. They just hate Trump. That's it. They just hate Trump. That's all they're running off of. No research, no nothing. Just I hate Trump, so Trump does everything wrong. That's it.
Campaigned in the last election exclusively on dictators are bad. That's all we heard, the D word. Defending democracy against dictatorship. So a real dictator lost the election, stayed in power, locked up his opponents. Trump puts that guy in handcuffs, and Democrats say he went about it the wrong way. They put Trump in handcuffs, claiming he tried to steal an election. Well, Maduro actually did it.
Literally, they was literally losing their shit over claiming that Donald Trump tried to steal an election. This man literally did it, and now we got people, Democrats outside talk about free Maduro, send him back to Venezuela. I'm like, okay, this is why nobody takes y'all serious, okay? Because I promise you, if it wasn't Trump and it was Biden, you guys would have celebrated this. This would have been one of Biden's many accomplishments.
And a lot worse. Jasmine Crockett thinks it's unfair that the United States has the power to arrest dictators. Well, she's saying, well, if the shoe was on the other foot.
Guess what? There are a lot of people that don't like our leader.
Whoa. I mean, the problem is, who's going to kidnap the president of the United States? Nobody. Nobody. Sadly, there's only 3 types of countries. There's first tier, second tier, and third tier. And sadly, there's only 3 first tier countries. The second tier countries get to choose the first tier countries they want to deal with, which is basically the US, Russia, and China. The third tier countries, well, they're just at the mercy of the first and the second tier. Like, they don't even get to control the fishing routes. They don't get to control the resources. They control nothing about their country, not even the leaders that get elected. So we've learned something about the world today and how harsh it is and how sometimes, I guess, might makes right, because Trump used might. And who's going to check him? What? The UN? We are the UN. We are the UN military force. NATO? We are NATO. What are we going to do? Check ourselves? Because it don't look like it. And I'm not saying I'm all in agreement with the Venezuelan strike, but who's going to check us?
And regardless, somebody coming into the United States and grabbing our leader in the middle of the night and killing people in this country, I'm sure everybody would be outraged at them doing it that way.
This explains the liberal mindset perfectly. Maduro has just as much of a right to arrest Trump as Trump has the right to arrest him. America should not put America first, should not use our power for good, and should take no responsibility for defending its interests. Even when other countries are attacking us with drugs and gangs and colluding with our enemies, we just have to sit back and take it. What do liberals want to use American power for? Sex changes in Guatemala? Check.
To push feminism on Islamic countries? What? To push women rights in the Middle East? Like, bro. Oh, okay. We want to use sanctions and military power for that, but we don't want to use that actually benefit America. Okay, that's crazy. And here's the thing. I'm not sure if this will fully benefit America. Of course, seizing their oil, that could help. That helps. But down the line, I can say this does lead to a very bad president, because people are right. And the libs have every right to say this when it says, all right, well, what keeps Putin from just going in and kidnapping Zelensky? What keeps Xi from going in and kidnapping the leader of Taiwan? And that's an absolutely good point, because yeah, who would stop them? Are we willing to go to World War III over Ukraine? Of course not. We just proved that we weren't for the past 2 years. Are we willing to go to World War III over Taiwan? Well, maybe for the chips, but I'm not even sure about that.
$20 million for Sesame Street in Iraq? Yeah. They don't want to defend our borders, only borders thousands of miles away. They don't even want to defend our money. They bring in migrants and let them steal it. Even when we blow the whistle, whoop, whoop, the Somalis are stealing our money, they still don't stop it. Gay marriage is illegal in Venezuela. Is that going to change Crockett's mind? Should we tell her that Juan can't marry Juan in Caracas? Biden left billions in military hardware in Afghanistan, got 13 soldiers killed, and then he smoked a family of civilians with a drone. And the Democrats were like, greatest airlift in history.
Bruh.
Trump sends in Delta Force, 0 casualties. Picks up this tyrant out of a military fortress.
Well, I'm be honest with you, 0 casualties on our side. We had 1 injury, a little bit of damage to the equipment. Now, when it comes to what happened on Maduro's side, yeah, he was guarded by Cubans, a bunch of Cubans, and about 32 of them, we killed them. So yeah, those 32 Cubans that were protecting Maduro in the extraction, they were eliminated. And then, of course, there was I believe a grandmother who actually got caught by some shrapnel in the bombing, and she also died. And she was a Venezuelan. So yeah, let's see how this goes over with the Venezuelan people over time, because I seen it on CBS, and it doesn't look like they're feeling too good about America asserting their dominance on them.
In the dead of night, flies him back to New York, puts him on trial, and Democrats are mad. Why?
And shout out to my man Jay. He said it was basically bipartisan. Trump created the bounty, Biden, Trump created the bounty, Biden increased it. Trump increased it again, but Trump's wrong for having the balls to snatch him. Yeah, that's where they're going with it, because anything Trump does is wrong in their mind. It don't make no sense. They can't really explain it to you, but if Biden did this, then it'd have been all good. I mean, Obama strikes people out there for oil and sends basically Libya back to slavery. It's all good. But Trump swoops in and takes Maduro. Oh my God. International law has been broken. It's the end of the world. He's actually a dictator, even though he's damn near basically swooped up and I guess extracted a dictator for his crimes against the United States of, well, being a narco terrorist and transporting drugs, and of course other things as well.
Because they didn't get a heads up? Yeah, because they're telling soldiers to disobey orders. Why else? Because it's illegal? Bush did the same thing to Noriega, arrested him, put him on trial, and put him in prison. Didn't Democrats say all fall? Got to give him due process. Well, that's what we're doing. Why else? Because there's no democracy in Venezuela yet. Well, there's no democracy in Libya either, after Barry bombed it back into the Stone Age.
I mean, yeah, actually, Libya has basically slavery. That's why I said Obama basically bombed these guys back to slavery. He basically did that.
In Afghanistan, we were there for 20 years. They are mad that we're taking the oil. What do you think this economy runs on? Solar panels? Do you think we're going to win the AI race with China with windmills?
Unless we make
Did the Democrats even build any windmills in 4 years? Did the Democrats build anything? How about being proud to be
No, I mean, here's the thing, though. If they'd have started the manufacturing of windmills and solar panels, I'd respect it. But instead, oh no, let's heavily rely on China, who sneaks these little switchers in there to turn off our power supply, like they were caught sneaking power switchers in our solar panels. Instead of just making it ourselves, let's just risk it all to the Chinese. It's really smart, guys, really smart.
American.
Nicolas Maduro got to meet some great Americans for a night vision goggles 3 nights ago. He didn't know they were coming until 3 minutes before they arrived. In fact, his wife said, I think I hear aircraft outside. They didn't know. You know why? Because every single part of that chain did their job. And they did it flawlessly.
You know who else didn't see it coming? China. All these Chinese spies crawling around D.C. They were totally shocked. Want to know why? Because we didn't brief Swalwell, and he didn't slip it to Fang Fang. You know what else they should be proud of? The Russian and Chinese air defense systems didn't work against our military. Trump really must be Putin's puppet if he's blowing up Putin's puppet in Venezuela. And this just in from the president. I am pleased to announce that the interim authorities in Venezuela will be turning over between 30 and 50.
Ooh, actually, no, sir, you're wrong. I mean, I did not say we had record job growth. I said we had positive job growth. Pay attention. That's what I'm saying. You have too much TDS to the point where you got to delude yourself into thinking that I said we had record job growth. No, I said we have positive job growth, aka at the end of the year, after the positive job growth months and the negative job growth months, we came at a positive job growth. I would hope you understand that. Like, do I need to explain it to you like you're in 3rd grade? I would hope not. So I didn't say record, I said positive. So please sit your ass down. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sit you down because you're talking too much. You don't know anything. But all right, though, let's keep it going. And I mean, of course, shout out to Trump because he definitely did take it. I mean, I think this clip explains it pretty well.
Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga. Fuck, nigga, I stole that shit. And I stole it. Like, bro, but niggas don't understand. I talk facts. Vlad, I talk facts.
Oh, you're right.
I
Don't even deny it. That's cool.
Nigga, I talk facts. What deny? What, nigga? Give me that, nigga.
Now he told facts. He ain't denied either. He said we took it. It's ours now. And guess what? We run in Venezuela. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a bit crazy. But here we are now. Even though the Maduro regime is still in place, I mean, yes, the new interim president of Venezuela is D.I.C. Rodriguez. That's her name, D.I.C. Rodriguez, and she's basically Maduro part 2. She still believes in all the socialist policies. She believes in, well, I'm gonna be real with you. What was it? what was the same thing they shared? Because not just his socialist policies. Oh, yes, the hatred of America and our imperialist ways. And she also is telling us to bring Maduro back because that is the one true president of Venezuela. And this is what the current president of Venezuela is saying. Word on the global streets is that all the cheers that you've been seeing of, Venezuelans on the news, that's outside of Venezuela. That's happening in places like Ecuador, Chile, places in South America, Miami, places in America. The people in Venezuela are actually protesting against what we did in Venezuela. And this is what I'm hearing on the global streets when you actually listen to like Latin news and global news. They're not too happy about it. Not saying that everybody's disappointed, but there are people who absolutely hate what we did when we went in there and took Maduro, and they believe we went against their sovereignty and the right to choose for themselves.
Million barrels of high-quality sanctioned oil to the United States of America. This oil will be sold at its market price, and that money will be controlled by me as President of the United States of America to ensure that it is used to benefit the people of Venezuela and the United States. Did you know after the Iraq War, we barely won an oil contract? Barely. British Petroleum got fat contracts. The Russians got contracts. They didn't even fight there. But Americans spent a decade of blood and treasure, and we walked away with next to nothing. Not anymore.
I asked him, I said, Mr. President, when you say, quote, we're going to run everything, it obviously causes deep concerns because of the disaster in Iraq. The president's response, Joe, the difference between Iraq and this is that Bush didn't keep the oil. We're going to keep the oil.
Trump says take the oil. Democrats call that imperialistic. We call it common sense.
Man.
We won spoils after World War II. We told our allies, lose the colonies. We took half Japan's gold they stole, built military bases on everyone's turf, and pegged the world currencies to the dollar. Was that fair? We've neglected our own neighborhood for the last 25 years because we were stuck in the sand in Iraq and Afghanistan. And while we were there, China swooped into our backyard and turned out all of our neighbors.
For years, we sent our soldiers to die in deserts in the Middle East to try to build them parliaments, to try to build them democracies, to try to give them more oil, to try to give them more resources. The future of the free world, Jake, depends on America being able to assert ourselves and our interests without apology.
In 2007, Hugo Chavez stole oil rights from Exxon and ConocoPhillips and kicked them out of the country. Now, at the time, Bush was fighting to save Iraq. He didn't have the bandwidth to defend our interests in the hemisphere. That's just a fact. Now, the media is saying, oh, American oil companies, they don't want to go back to Venezuela. It's too expensive. It's going to take too much time. What kind of negative attitude is that? Oil executive phones are blowing up. Interest in Venezuela has gone from 0 to 99%, quote unquote. Chevron, Exxon, Halliburton, their stocks are on fire. The Dow's up 1,000 points since the raid. Gold's up. The Venezuelan bond market's going loco. Privateers are already aiming for a $2 billion raise. The oil companies, they're meeting tomorrow with the Secretary of Energy. Venezuelan reserves are already mapped. There's no exploration risk. That means quicker dinero, lower inflation, and more leverage for Estados Unidos.
And I mean, he does have a point. Now, you got to remember, our dollar hasn't been facing too good it hasn't been doing too well the past couple of years. Like, we all know this, right? Of course we do. But this is actually a solution towards it, because one of the reasons why our dollar is being threatened or has been seeing a slight reduction in value is because of BRICS and people trying to turn away from the dollar and usually try to buy oil either in their own currency or the Chinese yuan. And well, that's what Maduro was actually doing. He stopped buying. Well, actually, a lot of countries started doing that. And you know what happens to them? We overthrow them. I mean, look up a lot of our regime changes, and it all usually depends on our dominance with the petrodollar. And this is no different. Yeah, it's all about the petrodollar. They were trying to sell their oil in the Chinese yuan instead of the American dollar, which was further going to weaken our dollar. And this is in our own hemisphere, and we just couldn't allow that, because if the American petrodollar falls, basically all of American economics fall with it, and we could just not have that. So I know you're going to hate to hear this, but as an American, you should want the petrodollar to stand at all costs. If you hate America, then of course you want it to fail because you want to see America destroyed. But if you're a true American, then you should want to, honestly, you should be ready for any measure to be taken to keep our economic dominance, or that goes your livelihood and your family's livelihood with it. I hope you understand that. It is deeper than Donald Trump. I hope you understand this.
This puts Trump in a stronger bargaining position with Putin over Ukraine and gives America more leeway to conduct military operations without worrying about rattling the oil markets. We squeeze China. We even reduce our reliance on Canadian oil, and that gives us more leverage in trade talks. And the best part is, liberals, listen closely, boosting Venezuelan oil output improves the Venezuelan economy. I know you care so much about other people. It helps the people live better lives there so they don't have to migrate here and raise your rent. Democrats are whining that we swapped one dictator for the dictator's VP, but guess what? She's already cooperating.
Is she?
And has been for over a year. The Financial Times reports this. The vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, has been conducting secret talks with Washington for a while.
I mean, I hope the opposition don't see this in Venezuela or she about to get executed. But no, that makes sense. I remember me and Monty was calling and saying that, you know what, it seems a bit weird that they knew exactly what Maduro was at the right price, at the right place, at the right time. And who else would know that but somebody really close to him? And I mean, the VP is something that I'm pretty sure that's somebody that would know the president's location at all times. And then, of course, we're hearing all these talks about her, about all these talks she's having, closed door talks with Trump. And then here's also the wild part as well. She's coming out being pro Maduro, talking about bring him back and all this good stuff. And that's what she's doing on public television, right? You know, meeting with the ambassador of China, Russia, and Iran all at once. She's doing all this in her face in public while she's having secret talks with Washington in the background, trying to, I guess, I don't know how she's going to sell it to her people after she did all the showboating, but finding a way to sell America, taking over their oil, their resources to the people. I wonder how she's going to transport that over, or is what Fox News saying is bullshit, because it's only one, bro. We're getting two different stories here. Let's be honest. We're getting one lady that's going like, bring this man back. We're continuing the old regime, like F American interference. And then we got Fox News over here going like, well, everybody in Venezuela is happy. Everything is happily ever after. Oh, she's working with us behind closed doors. Then what the heck is she doing in public talking against us? So, like I said, we'll see how things progress.
For a post-Maduro Venezuela. Translation, she went behind her boss's back and backstabbed him. She's now in charge. You don't think this woman's going to play ball a little bit? Now, if she doesn't play ball...
I mean, she do got to play to the opposition. You know, she do want to keep her head.
The naval blockade will choke off her cash flow, and she won't be able to keep her lights on and pay off her cronies. Just ask the Japanese or the Cubans how crippling an American naval blockade is. El Vice Presidente doesn't want to find out the hard way. She might not give us elections right away. She might not break up with the cartels because the cartel kickbacks are what keeps the generals fat and happy, but she will hand us back our oil and the gold and the minerals for sure, because that's what we're going to need for AI. Now, between Canada, the United States, Mexico, and Latin America, that puts Trump in control of a North and South American oil empire.
Oh, shout out to Kim Armour for joining the membership. Appreciate the support, sis. Oh, make sure to email me. You can just go to my main page, hit the info link, hit the info. You'll be able to find my email. Just email me and I'll go ahead and send you that Discord link. Appreciate you joining, sis.
Which would control 40% of world oil production. Kind of makes us the new OPEC. We'd be in the strongest position we've been in a long time. But there's one more thing.
I mean, let's be real. If we can guarantee that our hemisphere never drop the American dollar, then it's all good. I mean, I'm talking about literally complete dominance over the Western Hemisphere. Everything in the Western Hemisphere, every country in the Western Hemisphere using the American dollar to buy their oil. we be in pretty good standing. Yeah, we actually afford a couple of these guys to go ahead and go their own direction with how they want to purchase their oil. But until then, nah, not really. And it is looking like, well, to have complete American dominance, we wouldn't need them to turn over their currency from what it is now to American dollars.
We need.
We'll see how that
Greenland
goes.
has a population of 30,000 people, Jake. The real question is, by what right does Denmark assert control over Greenland? What is the basis of their territorial claim? What is their basis of having Greenland as a colony of Denmark? The United States is the power of NATO. For the United States to secure the Arctic region, to protect and defend NATO and NATO interests, obviously Greenland should be part of the United States.
Not only are Russian and Chinese ships sailing all across the Arctic looking for riches and new routes, the flight paths of Russian missiles, they go directly across Greenland into the United States.
Now, Greenland, I'm gonna be real with you. There's reasons why we want Greenland more than just, of course, land or, well, it ain't because it's a beautiful place. I'll tell you that. It ain't because it's a beautiful place, but it is because of their rare earth minerals, natural resources, of course. I mean, and it also is because you need access to the Arctic region. And who mostly has dominance over the Arctic region? Well, in first place is our guys in Russia. Second place, our guys in China. And then third place, well, there's us. And we need to actually elevate our position in the Arctic because if things pop off and, nuclear missiles and missiles start flying, they're flying over Greenland first, and we need to be able to stop that. And we don't have too much military of a presence in Greenland to feel comfortable enough, for that.
Can't have that. The Arctic is the new frontier. It's the new battle space, economically and militarily. And this tiny, tiny, tiny Scandinavian country.
Yep, because those intercontinental ballistic missiles fly straight through the poles.
A NATO member, for sure, has an uninhabited colony, bigger than Alaska, sitting off the coast of Maine. Now, if we're going to defend NATO from the Russians and the Chinese, Denmark's not going to be able to do it because they just can't. And they're getting a little prickly about the situation.
To taunt the Danish special forces who protects Greenland is very easy, but I would like to see how many American soldiers who can cope with these Arctic temperatures and this very harsh environment. I don't think it's something that you get many soldiers to do from the American continent.
Yeah, I hate to break it to the Danes. We have long johns here too. Patagonia will happily provide parkas for the Navy. We have soldiers from the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. Gets a little cold up there in the winter. They're used to the wind chill too. If we needed Bermuda to defend the Caribbean from the enemy, I think the British would let us borrow the island. It's called sharing. Funny thing is, the Europeans are lecturing us about colonies. What's yours is yours. Really?
My response is that Denmark landed on Greenland before anyone ever thought about making the United States of America. So by that logic,
I mean, bro, it don't matter. It don't matter. Like, can y'all defend Greenland? If we wanted to take it from you, could you defend Greenland from us? Okay, you can't. So I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Since it's in our hemisphere and we kind of need it for military advantage or strategic advantage, then yeah, we can take it. And what are you going to do about it? And this is the problem with this whole hemispherical dominance plan. Who going to stop us? Because NATO can't stop us. The UN won't stop us. I mean, who going to stop us on the Western side? The only people that can stop us is China and Russia. And that's what they probably like tag team together. And how likely is that to tag team against the USA? Not too likely. But that is the concerning question. If we do all of this, who's going to stop us? And what president does this set? Does that mean all the superpowers can now just take over willy-nilly and we're just splitting the world amongst the three of us? I mean, what does that look like? And is it a good place to live in? Let's be honest.
The United States of America should go back to be a colony of the United Kingdom.
Okay, is that how it works now? Whoever gets there first gets to keep it? So I guess Russia gets to keep Ukraine. Sounds like the Danes are saying.
I mean, he did say that.
I don't know. I have a better military doctrine. That's if you don't use it, you lose it. And they know it. And that's why they're begging Rubio for a meeting. And look at that. Trump makes a threat. Now they're coming to the table. They want to do a deal. There's a method to the madness. Maybe we use the oil money from Venezuela to buy Greenland. Maybe we just share it with the Danes. I hear the Scandinavians like to get down like that. We don't judge. Either way, after the Maduro raid, Trump has the wind at his back.
After the ousting, look at that. The support through the roof. Now we're talking about 37%. It turns out Americans like what they deem to be successful foreign policy operations.
Yeah, because here's the real, guys. This could actually have positive effects in the USA. Unlike the wars that happened, throughout the Middle East, that we were just fighting terrorism and there was really no benefit that was going to come back to the homeland at all whatsoever. Yeah, this here, we can actually see some type of fruits come out of this. I mean, we take their oil, we can lower our own gas prices, we get access to their resources, we start rare earth mining or a rare earth refinery in Venezuela and the US, so we don't have it taxing on our environment. I mean, this could work out for us. Unlike our past attempts at regime change, where we didn't really get anything back for switching out a leader. Now we might actually get something out of it. Might, maybe, praying.
And in this case, they view the ousting of Maduro, at least up to this point, as a successful one, and therefore the support way up.
After all, we are not being the world's policeman. We're not doing this for the world like we usually do. We're doing it for us. And what is it that we're doing? We're looking out for ourselves, our people, our neighborhood, our country. Now, if the left can't get it together, Miller is going to be really mad.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Now, Miller was funny. Like, I don't give a damn. I was like, okay. Bro, that Steve Miller interview with Jake Tapper.